All right, first you're going to do is you're going to pick out this indicator, this one, this BBMA or Mali by exact things. So it's going to come in its default manner. Please don't write on my screen, please, 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 I'm begging. So you're going to take this by default, you're going to have your Bollinger Band. So now we have, I think we have a series of indicators on the chart. We have this. The black lines are our Bollinger Bands. We have three black lines. So we call these ones our Bollinger Bands. One, two, three. So this is our upper Bollinger Bands. This is our mid Bollinger Bands, and this is our lower Bollinger Bands. So these Bollinger Bands act as a path where price casually walks inside. Again. So it acts as a path. So I've changed mine. I've actually customized this. We have these red lines. We call it the moving average 5 and 10 low, 5 and 10 high. So these two red lines are the moving average 5 and 10 high, while these two green lines are the moving average 5 and 10 low. You get. So we have the blue line. The blue line also is our EMA 50. So we use this one to determine our trend. You see, when price is above the EMA 50, we know price is bullish. And when price is below the EMA 50, we know price is bearish. For instance, here price is below the EMA 50, the blue line, we know price is bearish. And here price is above the blue line, we know price is bullish. So that's how you determine your trend. So now we're on the daily time frame. How does the BBMA works? The first thing we want to always focus on is the first thing we want to always focus on is we have a we have to have a re-entry. You're supposed to have a momentum candle and a re-entry, first of all. So now we have there are types of re-entries and there are types of momentum candlesticks. For instance, the indicator is going to indicate it everything for you here. For instance, here we had a momentum move by. Whenever we have a momentum move by, that means price casually closed out of the Bollinger Band. For instance, this is a momentum move by. Price closed out of our upper Bollinger Band. So we know price has more momentum to continue buying to the upside. You get, we know price has more momentum to continue its move to the upside whenever we have a closing or out of the Bollinger Band. So that's just how it works. Why some people treat the using Bollinger Bands in a way that whenever price goes out of the Bollinger Band, they look for a reversal. They look for that reversal. They start selling for price to come back inside. It works, but when it comes to BBMA, meet yourself, meet yourself, meet yourself, meet yourself. Can you please mute? All right, so whenever price goes out of the Bollinger Band, we expect price to retest and come back inside our moving average 5 and 10 low. So for instance, here we are bullish. You get, whenever price closes out of the Bollinger Band, we expect price to retest, come back inside this our moving average 5 and 10 low. But if we are bearish, we are going to expect price to come back into our moving average 5 and 10 high. So for instance, we are bearish here, we expect price to come back inside this moving average 5 and 10 high for a sell opportunity. So for instance, let's work on this here. This was our moving average, momentum move by price close out of the Bollinger Band. So what are we expecting? We're expecting price to give us some retracement and come back inside our re-entry zone. So this indicator doesn't lapse. I have these boxes here because of the EMS. Since I mostly trade EMS, it requires mostly these boxes. So I can take them off. Let's take off the boxes. So that please don't write on my screen. Don't write on my screen, please. Don't write on my screen, I beg you guys. All right, so this is what you're going to have. Whenever we have a momentum move by, price comes back inside here and indicates whenever price taps into our moving average 5 and 10 low, it indicates with a re-entry buy. Price close above here. Whenever it comes back inside the zone, it indicates with a re-entry buy. We're on a daily time frame, so it helps to guide you with your buyers. You have your buyers to buy, like it's going to indicate re-entry buy, you buy at this point. You're going to TP somewhere at this high, previous high. So here we had momentum move by, re-entry buy. Price goes up to it reaches you can take profit even at the Bollinger Band whenever price goes. So mind you, we're on the daily time frame and it's suitable for the daily and H4 time frame. Also weekly sometimes, but I use it. The best time frame is H4 and daily. So BBMA has its codes. It has codes and it's a very broad strategy if you want to actually learn it. It's actually very, very complicated too because of the lines. Because of the lines. So what you're going to do is we have confirmation. This is also another type of re-entry. Yes, another type of re-entry here. We have this is another type of momentum candle. We call this a CSA. It's a CSA buy. That means price close above this moving average 5 and 10 high. We expect a re-entry at this point. It's not going to indicate because the system has been made in a way that unless we have a momentum move buy before a re-entry, but this is a CSA buy. What you do, this is a candle which close above the moving average 5 and 10 high. What are we expecting? We're expecting a re-entry at this point. Yes, a re-entry here at this point. This way we are going to look for your buy opportunities inside the zone here. You catch your buy. We had a momentum move buy. You can cover the candle like this. Your momentum move buy candle. What are you expecting? You're expecting a re-entry. This is your re-entry into the zone right here. All right. So another momentum candlestick. What are we expecting? We're expecting a re-entry at this point right here. And there was a re-entry and price actually moved up. Momentum move buy right here. You can cover it with your rectangle tool, and we have a re-entry at this point right here. Same thing over and over. So here we had the momentum move buy, but we are supposed to have a re-entry and indicated re-entry buy. But if you bought here, you could take profit somewhere here, and it's actually eventually going to hit your stop loss. So we have what we call a CSA, a CSAK. We have, mind you, there is a difference between CSA and CSAK. CSAK simply means direction. It simply means change. Market has changed direction. You get, so I'll show an example of a CSAK. So here is an example of a CSAK, even though this one gives us the momentum move sell. When price breaks our mid Bollinger Band and close below this mid Bollinger Band and below our moving average 5 and 10 low, it's a momentum move sell. So what are we expecting? A reversal into our re-entry zone. Now we start selling. This is our re-entry zone right here. This is um our momentum candlestick. What are we expecting a re-entry zone? Even the trade I shared to you guys live, this US 30, this was something you could actually take as a confirmation because you have your momentum candlestick and price come back into the zone and you have your sell to the downside. But I actually use EMS to get this, which is EMS stands for your engulfing, then Malaysian support and resistance and structure. So you combine engulfing strategy, you combine it with the Malaysian support and resistance strategy, you combine it with market structure, you combine it with market structure, that's SMC. It's going to give you that blend, which is going to give you high probability trades, high probability trades. So this is how I treat this. So now this, you don't just rely on this. That's why you see some fail, like this re-entry here failed. Some fails and some work out. So we have confirmations we are going to take. That means if I have a zone, if I have a candle like this, it gave me a momentum move candle, and I expect price to, let's say, give me some pullbacks like this. And this is my zone of re-entry at this point. This is my zone of re-entry at this point right here. That means I'm expecting price to start buying from this point and giving me this bullish move. So what am I going to get? At this same point here, we are going to move some few time frames lower. Let's say if we're on the daily, we're going to go, let's say, to 4 hours time, 4 hour time frame, and we're going to go again to 1 hour time frame. So you need 3 time frames to confirm your BBMA setup. So if you mark out this here on daily, you're going to go to 1 hour time frame, and there's some on 4 hour time frame, there's something you have to look out for there. So we have those confirmations. So for instance, we have confirmations like we have an extreme. We have like 3 types of extreme. We should have to make those confirmations on the lower time frame, and we also have extremes. Like the BBMA code is very, very broad. The BBMA code is actually very, 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 very broad. Let me see, for instance. Let me see, someone sent it. Let's see. PDF sessions, visit materials. All right. Let's open this with Chrome. All right, for instance, let me show you guys. I hope you guys can see my screen. Mm. These are BBMA PDFs that shows you everything. MLV, this is entry, this is CSM, momentum candlestick. So most of these abbreviations are not in English. They are simply in Malaysian language. So that's why most of the times they always use the CSM, CSAK, and all those stuff. So this is CSM, meaning a candlestick momentum. So we have a re-entry when price comes back into your re-entry into your moving average 5 and 10 low, you have a re-entry. CSAK CSAK simply means directional candles. And CSAK works all the time. So we have confirmations, we have set types of extreme. We have like four types of extreme, I think, or five types of extreme. All right, here we have extreme A, it's an extreme A. See, extreme A simply when your one of your moving averages goes out of a Bollinger Band. It's a very strong confirmation. Then we also have it's another type of extreme. What's the name? I don't know this PDF. There's another PDF. Just that before I'll need to open it, I'll need to use a password and it's going to take a lot of time. So we also have the BBMA codes. We have the REM. There are so many codes. This is the REM. So this PDF is not complete. The other one, I need to input codes there. Take a lot of time. So this REM and this is should be REM, extreme B, and all this stuff. Then we have REE. It's REE. So it means re-entry, extreme, extreme. So I told you we have to need 3 time frames to look for those stuff. So let's say for this year, we have a momentum move. We mark out this re-entry zone at this point. So if we mark out this re-entry zone at this point, what do we do? We go 1 time frame lower. That's on H4 time frame. I want to see either an extreme or at that point. So this is a type of extreme. This is extreme B. Extreme B is simply when price rejects from in the same zone which you marked, right? You want to see price rejecting from your Bollinger Bands. So if we had price tap the Bollinger Band, rejected and closed below the Bollinger Band. So this is extreme B. So it gives you one confirmation. That gives you like two, that's the second confirmation. But the first confirmation is a re-entry. The second confirmation is for price to reject from one of these levels, from the Bollinger Band. So what do? You go now to 1 hour time frame. You want to see now a full BBMA structure. And this is now a full BBMA structure if there is one. So here we had an extreme. It's going to indicate extreme sell, extreme sell, extreme move sell, extreme move sell. It's telling you to sell at this point. It's telling you to sell at this point. But most of the times you want to see full BBMA setup. Full BBMA setup is something like this. Is something like sort of an SMC, something like this. This is full BBMA setup. Meaning this here is going to give you extreme. It's going to give you TPW, TP Wajib, also in Malay language, and this is going to give you your market loss volume. This is MHV or MLV, means market loss volume, and this is going to give you a CSAK. This break here is going to give you this break of structure is going to give you a CSAK sell, and when price rejects here, it's going to give you a re-entry sell. I see a lot of messages. Let me see. 12. If you want to set it on your, if you want to set it on your MT5, I will share the settings in the general Telegram channel. So I will share it on the general channel, the settings, if you want to set it on your MT5. And if you also want to set it I have this in my PDF community and how to set it up. And if you want to use it on TradingView, yeah, you're going to have it like this. So now the funniest thing is on the Reef TradingView, on this the Reef TradingView, these are the advanced charts for the Reef. You don't have the BBMA indicator there. So you cannot use it on the Reef advanced charts unless you use it on your MT5 on the Reef. And I don't like using your MT5 because it's a lot of indicators. It's a lot, your chart is going to be really, really messy. Because here we have the option to like hide it and you work on your empty chart. You see your full structure and everything. But now on the MT5 application, you need to go and like you delete all the indicators and to install them back is a lot of work. So that's the only way you can have it on the Reef. But I don't really see it working well on the Reef, but it works well on Concepts. So this is your extreme. After this candle, I told you when a candle closes below our mid Bollinger Band, we call it a CSAK. This reversal here, extreme sell. We have your zone to sell. You sell at this point, you take profit somewhere down here. So that's just how it works, especially if you're using it from the daily time frame. Let's see another pair. Let's check other pairs. Let's check gold. Works also on gold. Works well on gold. This is gold daily time frame right here. You're going to have stuff like you mostly have CSA, MHV sell. And I told you these stuff they appear immediately price gets to this point. It doesn't like it will not happen like maybe after something no. Immediately. So this is your re-entry buy here. Immediately price taps inside this green zone, it gives you a re-entry buy. Immediately price taps into this zone. The reason for this re-entry buy is because of this momentum move buy. Where the momentum move buy here, price retraced and came inside the zone. We had the re-entry buy to buy from this point to this point. This is a CSA. CSA, the price didn't come inside our buy zone. Let's see. We had this momentum move buy. What happened? Price came back inside the zone. So far as price touched in between this moving average 5 and 10 low, it's going to indicate immediately price taps inside. It's going to indicate to you that okay, I'm in a re-entry buy. You should start buying at this point. You should be buying at this point. So if you're buying here, then you're going to TP right at the top. So that's how you can have your momentum buy, wait for price to come inside one of these zones. You look for those confirmations, those three confirmations on those three time frames I showed you, and you'll be able to catch to the upside. But most of these lines, that's why when you see all these boxes inside here, because I trade just EMS, the engulfing. Some people, when people ask me which strategy I trade, I tell them EMS, they feel like they will go and search it up on YouTube and you're going to have it. No, because EMS is simply combining three strategies to give me that. And it makes it very, very simple. I'm combining three strategies to give me that. You need to understand the engulfing strategy, how engulfing candles work completely. And after that, you have to understand Malaysian support and resistance completely, how it works, how to mark out key levels, how to pick out key levels, and how to do all those stuff. And you have to also understand SMC to the fullest. If you're good with that tree, then there's a way now you are going to blend it together from the higher time frame. You need just, I think, 2 or 3 time frames to mark out everything, and it gives you very accurate setup. And you can also have your engulfing field, and you can also have your direct engulfing candles, engulfing field and engulfing candles. You can take your trick pairs either way. So that's just how it works. That's how it works. So yeah, let's see H4, the BBMA on gold. Let's see. Here we had uh please don't write on my screen, don't draw on my screen. Here we had the momentum move by, and we had the re-entry buy at this point. So if you're able to mark out those points, you're able to mark out those points here at the momentum move by the entry by here. So if you're able to mark out those points, it's actually going to be very, very helpful for you. Let's see the time frame. So I like using it on the daily time frame. It gives me very accurate setups like this. These are re-entry zones, re-entry zones, re-entry zones. But now, you should not be using BBMA alone. You get that's the mistake many traders always face. They use just BBMA alone. How to take interest on lower time frame when price has reacted to any key level or higher time frame when price has reacted. Okay, how do you take entries on lower time frame when price has reacted to any key level? All right, if I'm trading Malaysian support and resistance, right? I'm trading Malaysian support and resistance and I have price react from a key level like this. All what you need to do is start a storyline. That's why when I send setups, there are some setups I always send and I'll tell you guys to wait for a storyline. So storyline is simply needs to see you simply need to see your sweep and your break of structure. You simply need to see this. You need to see a rejection. First of all, this is your key level on a daily time frame. You want to see when you spot this rejection, you want to spot a candle rejection from that zone on that same time frame. That same time frame. So this is a rejection. Price close below the zone And what do? You go 1 or 2 times in low and you're going to expect to see something like this. You get going to see a sweep and a break of structure and price returns and catch yourself on here. So that's how I do it. If I'm price starts at any key level, I wait for a closing candle and I go lower to confirm it. That's just what I do. What else? Good evening. So can we do about engulfing strategies? That's what I've been saying. It the engulfing strategy simply you need to look for your engulfing candle on the higher time frame. On the lower time frame, you have to look for your Malaysian support and resistance levels and your SMC levels. That's just all you need to do. Not really big deal. Not really something big. So I will share the recording since we don't have any question again. I'll end the call and I'll share the recording. For instance, here we have this is a momentum move by price comes into this only start indicating re-entry, 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 re-entry. But now he has already given us an MHV sale. An MHV is simply I told you we have the full structure. We have extreme MHV, TPW, TP Wajib. We have MHV, and if price closes below this middle Bollinger Band like this. We have a candlestick that goes below and close below here. What will we be expecting? We're expecting price to return to a zone like this and sell off. Give you a re-entry here and you sell off from there. So people who trade this that most these Arab guys and they always stack a lot of position. We should also trading numbers. Risk entry here, you can take risk entry. Which level to take on entry on lower time frame. How do I know which level to take on entries on lower time frames? So there's a way. There's a way if I'm to get my entries on, let's say on the lower time frame, right? First of all, this UBG point, this is liquidity here. All right, if I'm to take my levels or if I'm to take my entries on lower time frame, and there's a way to confirm it using a higher time frame, a higher time frame zone. Simple. Just go to the higher time frame and look for the respective zones you actually expect price to react from. And that's all. It's not actually something difficult. It's not really difficult. It seems difficult, but it's not actually difficult. Which country am I from? I'm from Cameroon. Cameroon or Cameroon? It's not for the oh yeah, I'll send the BBMA indicator settings for the channel. So have a good night and we'll do more of this often. So